Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina, otherwise known as Sinfulpluto, and today we are doing readings, predictions, horoscopes, whatever you want to call them, for fire signs. We'll be starting with Aries, ending with Sagittarius. It's been a minute. I'm glad to be back. I have been struggling to be consistent on this channel. I've been having a hard time being consistent, just like finding the motivation and like honestly like the willpower to film, but today I finally had motivation to do so. So here I am. Before I get started, I just want to say really quick, so the Black Lives Matter movement is still like obviously a thing. It hasn't died down. Just because it's no longer trending on Twitter anymore doesn't mean it's just died down. Okay, this is still an ongoing movement and it's not going to be dying off anytime soon. So it's still up to us. It's still our job to be active, to be signing petitions, to be doing what we can to support the movement in however way we can, whether it is signing the petitions or donating to GoFundMes or donating to bail funds or whatever the case may be. So I'll be linking down below links where you can do your research, or just like information, again, petitions that you can be signing, GoFundMes that you can be, there's a bug outside my window, sorry. Petitions that you can be signing, GoFundMes that you can be donating to, bail funds that you can be donating to, organizations you can be donating to, and so on and so forth. So that's all I really have to say, and yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. So Aries, what's going on for you this July? I hope July has been okay so far. I hope eclipse season has been bearable. That shit was hard, painful for some of us. So I hope you've been taking care of yourselves properly. All right, let's see what's going on for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What's going on for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in July? What's going on for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in July? So with the sun reversed, that fell out. Maybe you're dealing with a Leo. Maybe you're just feeling sad. We have the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Swords. Oh my God, so many people. The Knight of Swords, the Knight of Cups, the King of Cups reversed. What the fuck is going on? Five of Cups reversed. And then the Seven of Cups at the bottom of the deck. And then under that is the Four of Wands reversed. So Seven of Cups is a card that talks a lot about options and choices. And usually with those choices, they are, how do I say this? Like, they're hyped up a lot more than they should be, if that kind of makes sense. Like, they seem like one thing, you know, not all, it's basically kind of like the quote, not all that glitters is gold. You know, these choices might seem really tempting, they might seem really exciting, but once you actually see what they are under all of the glitter and under all of, you know, like the illusion, there's not much to them. And so what this kind of feels like to me, Aries, is that you might be using other people as a means of distraction. That's kind of what it looks like. And it looks like you have different options for like different people for different things. Sorry, I just hit my tripod. So we have the sun reversed, right? Aries, I feel like you may have been feeling really depressed, maybe have been feeling really sad, just feeling down in the dumps. feeling really gloomy, and honestly understandable with everything that's going on, not just with the global pandemic and with the uprising, with the revolution that's happening, and with everything else in between. There's a lot going on, so it's very understandable why you might be feeling overwhelmed, why you might be feeling this way. It's valid, it's understandable, I get it. And so I feel like as a way to distract yourself from your feelings and kind of to distract yourself from the sadness and the gloominess of it all, the seriousness of it all, I feel like you might be using other people as a means of distraction. Maybe you are talking to someone or hooking up with someone romantically, right? With the Knight of Cups, maybe you're talking to someone on the side. Maybe they are a distraction, you know, in the sense of they give you butterflies and they're really cute and they're really fun and they're really charming and they help kind of ease your mind in that way. Or maybe this is just saying romantically, they serve as a romantic distraction, right? And then with the Queen of Wands, maybe this is like your best friend, for example. The Queen of Wands, someone really fun, very bubbly, very exciting, someone who takes you out of your shell. And maybe that's another distraction for you. And then with the Knight of Swords, I don't even feel like this is the person. I feel like with the Knight of Swords, this might be you kind of like going off and doing impulsive and reckless things as a means of distraction, like kind of doing things to get yourself in trouble. Putting yourself in almost like in dangerous situations, if you will, because it gives you a sort of adrenaline rush, and again, like another thing to cope and another thing to distract yourself, which is honestly really unfortunate. And I really hope that it doesn't get to an incredibly dangerous point, to the point that you actually really devastatingly hurt yourself, because that would honestly just be terrible. And when the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups reverse, it kind of feels like you're not even all that emotionally invested in this person. Like they might be really into you, but with the King of Cups reverse, it kind of just feels like you're like, nah, whatever. It just kind of feels more like a distraction. And so you're kind of just like going along with it in hopes that it'll keep everything at bay in your mind. But one way or another, it just kind of keeps on resurfacing. With the Five of Cups reverse, this kind of feels like pain that you haven't dealt with. It feels like things that you're pushing to the side. It's like making me cry. Like I feel this heavy, like I have a feeling in my chest, and I have the urge to cry. And it sucks, yo. It really fucking sucks that you're feeling this way. And it feels, you know, maybe you feel that your life is just being uprooted right now and you just don't know how to deal with it. And for others of you, this Queen of Wands, it might not necessarily signify another person. Maybe this is just you kind of trying to keep up the image that everything is okay, right? Because the Sun reverse, that would be the depression, that would be feeling really cloudy. And then the Queen of Wands would kind of be the opposite of that. Like, no, I'm fine, I'm happy, let's go out and do something fun. Let's go do something impulsive, let's do something reckless. Kind of continuing to be the goofy person so that no one really suspects what's actually going on, but inside it kind of just feels like you're hurting and you're not really dealing with your emotions. If anything, the King of Cups reverse is telling me that you're repressing everything. You are pushing everything down. And I feel like that's really, it's not helping you at all. And with the Knight of Swords, again, like doing the impulsive thing, you know, he's running towards his bike and I just feel like you're just doing anything to get that rush, to distract you, to get that thing from the back of your head out of there because you don't want to deal with it, because you don't, like, it just feels like constant escapism and running away. But once you're alone with your thoughts, that's all that you have. And so it's like, I can't be alone with my thoughts. And so you're trying to do all these things to avoid them, to run away from them. And that really sucks. And so, yeah, we have the Seven of Cups, right? Which is like the illusion, idealization, like all these options that you have to distract yourself. It just feels like distraction. And Four of Wands, maybe you feeling like your life is being uprooted. Life is really unstable. Everything just feels like it's being just completely transformed and changed. It kind of feels like the rug is just being pulled out from under your feet. And it's just completely unexpected, and it's like you don't know what to do, and it's really overwhelming. And maybe the way that you have been trying to cope with it is through all of the stuff that I've been describing. But with the Two of Swords reversed, this is kind of saying you can only do that for so long. You can only be in denial for so long. You can only run away for so long. You can only turn your cheek the other way for so long, you know? Eventually, those repressed feelings, whatever it is that you are pushing down, they are going to continue coming back up in various different ways. Whether you believe it or not, whether you see the connection or not, they are going to come up until you actually deal with your feelings. And that's what July looks like for you, is needing to deal with your feelings, needing to deal with whatever it is that you have been running away from, needing to get rid of these distractions, or needing to step away from the distractions and really taking the time to face what you have been running away from all this time. Because like I said, like, it's going to continue coming up until you finally deal with it. So, I mean, it's entirely up to you. And again, I understand like not wanting to deal with it. Emotions are hard, feelings are hard. Like, you just don't want to have to go through that. I understand. But it's still a part of life, and it's still something that we have to deal with one way or another. And we can either do it the healthy way, or we can do it the reckless way, the unhealthy way, the way that honestly does not work in the long term. It works temporarily, but we're here for the long term, you know? So it's up to you. So, you know, maybe journaling may help you. Maybe reaching out to someone that you know that you can trust and talking to them and venting to them about it may help ease your mind. Maybe getting like a journaling app, or just journaling on your own notebook if you want. Meditating, reflecting, sitting alone with your thoughts and just honoring them, you know? Just honoring your feelings and being like, it's okay for me to feel this way. Life is really fucking hard right now, and that is okay for me to be feeling this way because life is so hard. That is completely valid of me. And if I need a few days on my own, I need a few days on my own. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't always have to be the goofy friend. I don't always have to be the fun and reckless person. I have feelings too. I need to deal with them. And that's that. And it can't always be one of those things, because I know like Aries is the cardinal fire sign. So it's like, I want to get this over with. I want to do this as quickly as possible, right? But not everything can be dealt with that way. And that's another thing that you just kind of have to come to accept, is that not everything can just be like rushed through. Some feelings and experiences have to be honored more than once, and more than for just 5 minutes. It has to take some time. And I feel like something that might really help you is connecting with your inner child and doing things that make you really happy, doing things that you used to love to do when you were a kid, whether it means climbing a tree, whether it means building something, whether it means drawing, dancing, writing, reading a book. Although I don't think an Aries would want to do that. They would probably like want to listen to an audiobook on like 2 times speed. Going on a walk, going on a jog, anything. And the reason why I say this is because of the Page of Wands here, which to me talks a lot about connecting with your inner child. I feel like that might help you a lot cope with your emotions and cope with whatever it is that you're dealing with, cope with whatever upheaval you're experiencing right now, because it's a lot to be dealing with. A lot of us are feeling it. I get it. So don't push away the people that want to help you, especially if they peep that, you know, something's wrong. Okay? I feel like that might be really easy to kind of dismiss it or be like, no, everything's fine. If it's not fine, then it's not fine. You don't have to pretend. It's okay. You know, it's okay to not pretend. It's okay to not always be good. It's okay to not be happy. It's okay. So yeah, I feel like a lot of this is basically talking about facing what it is that you need to face rather than kind of using things, people, or situations as a means of distraction from the real issue. So yeah. I hope it resonates, Aries. I hope you were able to get something out of it. I hope that you, I don't know, I hope it makes you feel better in some way. And with that being said, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hi Leo, welcome back to my channel. Let's go ahead and get started with your reading. All right, so what's going on? What's going on with you, Leo? This July 2020, your birthday month. At the end of the month, it'll be your season. I'm fucking excited, bitch. Fucking love Leos. Okay, let's see what's going on for you, Leo. What's going on for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, July 2020. What's going on for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, July 2020. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for July 2020. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for July 2020. Bro, my hands are getting fucking tired, bitch. What the fuck? What's going on for the Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? There we go. Thank you. Spirit was like, okay, her hands are tired. Let's do this. Okay, so we have the Nine of Swords reversed that came out. We have the Four of Swords reversed. Damn. Okay. Shit. We have the Hanged Man reversed. Might be dealing with the Pisces. We have the Five of Cups. Nine of Cups. We have the Chariot. Bottom of the deck is the Hierophant reversed. So a breaking of foundations, a breaking of tradition. Doing things that are unconventional. Breaking free from like a sort of oppressive power. Okay, I feel like I know what this is. Okay, so Leo. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant reversed, right? At the bottom of the deck. I literally just said that. So having the Hierophant reversed at the bottom of the deck, this to me, it really feels like you're breaking out of your comfort zone. You're breaking out of a certain shell of yours. You're breaking past societal norms. I feel like you are going against societal norms or going against certain people's expectations, whether it was your family or your friends, your colleagues, whoever it might be. I feel like you are no longer adhering to certain expectations, to certain norms, or whatever the case might be, because it feels like it has been suffocating you. It feels like you have been feeling very stuck, because we do have the Hanged Man reversed, right? You have been feeling very stuck, and maybe you felt as though you had to kind of sacrifice yourself or sacrifice your integrity or your dignity in order to make other people happy, in order to please other people, or, you know, just kind of doing some form of self-sacrifice and kind of adhering to certain rules or regulations or expectations, if you will, or certain norms, because maybe you didn't want to be like the nail that didn't want to be hammered down, or whatever the case may be, right? There was that self-sacrifice here of kind of going along with things even though it didn't align with your own beliefs, your own values, morals, or what have you, right? And I feel that for a while now, that has been something that has been like plaguing your mind. Just something that you've been thinking about a lot. And as the time goes on, it's just a theme that has been continuing to come up and come up. It's always been in the back of your head, but then it continues to come up again and again and again, whether in conversation or in little synchronicities that you're seeing or whatever the case may be, right? Like the topic just continues coming back up of you wanting to break free, you feeling so stuck and feeling shackled even by shackled to like these norms or these expectations or whatever the case may be. It just feels like it's a lot, and you're beginning to grow restless with the Four of Swords reverse. Like I even feel that you may have even been missing out on a lot of sleep, just having a sort of insomnia, or maybe even staying up really late at night thinking about your dreams or your aspirations, or thinking about the thing that you really want to do that you have been holding yourself back from for so long because it goes against what is expected of you. And I feel that in July, I feel like you're kind of gonna be like, fuck it. And I feel that you're gonna grow very tired and very restless of trying to please other people, of sacrificing your own self and disappointing your own self, living in just like misery, trying to make everyone else happy and putting your own happiness last. And I feel that in July, you're really starting to put yourself first. You would think, so many people stereotype Leos and think, oh, they always put themselves first. They're always so selfish and yada, yada, yada. But like, I guess, but Leos care so much about the people around them and like the people that they love and respect. Like they will do, like you have no idea how far they will go to make sure that the people that they love are happy and safe and just content, even if it means sacrificing their own happiness and their own selves. Like, God. Anyways, I really feel that you're realizing how you may have become complacent, Leo, in just like this whole shit. And I feel that in July, you're putting yourself first and kind of just saying like, fuck it. And really kind of taking the first steps towards making yourself happy or chasing after certain things or switching that major that you never really wanted to like pursue in the first place. Like I feel like you're either changing your major or like you're switching your job or you're becoming like an entrepreneur. You're doing something that just goes against what people expected of you and goes against like quote unquote protocol. Like it's a thing that people kind of look down on, like, oh, you should never do that, like it's not realistic. But I just feel like you're reaching a point where you're like, no, what, fuck it. Like, I'm not happy doing this. Maybe I'm making money, but I'm not happy. And money, like, just doesn't define my happiness. So I'm going to look for it elsewhere. And I feel that July, you're going to grow more and more restless until you finally fucking break free. And and it's so cool because we have the Nine of Cups and she's, like, literally, like, free. Like, she's opening her, like, her arms and she's just, like, not suspended, but she's just, like, finally, like, I'm here, bitch. Like, I'm here, hello. That's kind of what it looks like to me. And with the Chariot, I feel like once you take that first step, there is no going back. And I feel that you are going to have this strong sense of assertion and sense of what you want to do and what you want to pursue and how you want to go about it. And like your eyes are on the prize now. Like nothing is going to be stopping you now. You have two horses here and you're in control of both of them. Nothing is going to distract you. No outside opinion is going to kind of bring you back into this sort of submissive place anymore. You're tired of it and you have been growing very tired of it for a very long time. And so when you do break free of like this complacency and this sort of like stagnant energy that you have been sitting in for so long. Like, no one can convince you to go back because you finally got your taste of freedom and you're like, oh shit, like, this is good. I'm never going back again. And so that's what it looks like. And I feel that people are going to be surprised at how good things actually end up going, because we have the Nine of Cups, and with like the treasure chest here and all of the abundance, I get a lot of like Jupiter energy looking at this. I feel that you're going to be really abundant once you take the step towards your own independence and asserting yourself and following your own path, following what makes you happy, and so on and so forth, right? I feel like it'll be a very unexpected surprise, and I feel that you're kind of gonna go into it not really having any sort of expectations of having like instant results. And I'm not necessarily saying that you're going to have instant results, because I don't want to instill that belief of just like, oh, like if I just do this, like everything will be completely fine and I'll like whatever. No, it might take some work and it might take some time, but I'm just saying like you're gonna be rewarded one way or another, and people are gonna be shocked by it. And I feel like people are even gonna be mad because they're gonna be like, whoa, you're not allowed to be happy, because I'm working a 9 to 5 and I'm working my ass off and I'm like working 40 plus hours a week trying to maintain this shitty lifestyle that I have. Like, you're not allowed to be doing what you want and making a lot of money from it or just being really happy from it. That's not fair. I feel like people are going to try to push you back into the submissive role, but if that happens, you're going to just be like, no, fuck you. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. I am done. I am putting myself first. Listen, it's my time to shine, whether you like it or not. I have done my part and it has made me unhappy. So now I'm going to put myself first and do things with integrity and follow my own gut and follow whatever it is that I want to do. And I'm going to set a new standard for myself. And I'm not going to let these outdated norms and expectations rule over my life, because if I can do it and if I see other people doing it, there's no reason why I or you can't be able to do it. So there's that, you know, that's what that looks like, love. Yeah. 8 of Wands. Yeah. It's a lot of action, a lot of forward movement. And honestly, with the 8 of Wands and the 9 of Cups, they were right stacked on top of each other. It's likely that you will have very quick results. So, you know, I don't want to say instant, but it's likely that you will be rewarded very quickly for what happens, because you're finally doing what you wanted to do. So it's like you finally have the, I guess, like incentive, if you will. We have the 6 of Wands reversed. Yeah. This to me is kind of like the negative attention that people will kind of give you, or, you know, people might ridicule you or try to publicly humiliate you or try to like shame you, even publicly shame you, or whatever it is, like shame you within the family or shame you within the friend group, and again, to put you down to their level or below them, because they don't want you to be above them, you know, like they want to keep you equal or under, but preferably under, so that they feel superior. So with the 6 of Wands reverse, it kind of just feels like they'll try to tear you down, but you cannot allow them to push you back down into that level of submission that you've been in this entire time. Okay, like, we're not going back to the Hanged Man reverse. We're not doing it. It's not an option. I'm sorry. So honestly, like, this is just really exciting for me, Leo, because I really just feel like you just deserve the world. I feel that if you have been kind of just setting your own needs to the side, and just putting other people first, and maybe even valuing their opinion more, and kind of placing your value and your worth in other people or in outside things, or, you know, just like not wanting to make a wave or whatever the case may be, like, I get it. And it's just one of those things where, like, I'm glad that for those of you who relate to this, I'm glad that you're finally breaking free, and I'm glad that you're doing what you want to do and living your life authentically. Because I feel like so many Leos feel that they have to dilute themselves to please other people, because like, Leos can be a lot. They can be a lot. They can be a lot of energy to deal with, and so I feel that a lot of the time they dilute themselves to make other people happy, and it just kind of, it leads to a less than authentic experience, and it can lead to just, I guess, an overall sense of dissatisfaction. and whatnot. And I really encourage you, Leo, to just like accept yourself, even if you are so extra and exaggerated. Like, that's just your energy. You're the sun, like, you beam. That's okay. You know, you don't have to dim yourself down for others so that they feel comfortable, you know? So I feel like July is kind of the realization of that. So yeah, I hope it resonates, Leo. I hope you were able to get something out of this. I hope that you have a wonderful July. And with that being said, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Let's just go ahead into your reading. So this may apply to Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. So let's get into it, loves. All right, what's going on with Sagittarius this July 2020? What's going on for Sagittarius this July 2020? So 2 cards fell out. We have the Judgment card reversed. We have Death. Okay. We have the World. Jesus Christ. Okay, so something is coming to an end. All right. We have the Hierophant. Jesus Christ. We have the Tower. Oh my God. All of this major arcana. Tower reverse, and all of it points to massive change. And then we have at the bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Cups reversed. Bottom of the deck, no, not bottom of the deck, sorry. 10 of Cups reversed, and the bottom of the deck is the Lovers. So this is a very like straight to the point reading here. So whatever cycles have been repeating in your life, Sag, they need to come to an end, and they are coming to an end this month, okay? Whatever it is that you've been running away from, whatever it is that you have been kind of like trying to keep together, even though it's been like falling apart in pieces, it feels like that's going to crumble eventually. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm so sorry. Hold on. This might be something that you've had in your life for a while. Maybe it's been around for a long time. Maybe this is something that you're really familiar with, right? With the Hierophant here, it's like strong foundation, something that has been around for a while, but now it's outdated. Maybe this is a person, a place, a thing, a situation, a mindset, a belief, an approach that you have in your life, whatever it may be. I feel like it's coming to an end because it's outdated. Like, it served its purpose, and now it's just like it's being regurgitated. Like, it's been regurgitated for a while, and it's like it's almost like you've been trying to keep it around for a very long time, because Judgment reversed is cycles repeating itself and not learning a lesson, almost refusing to learn a lesson, refusing to let something go, refusing to let something come to an end, refusing to let a cycle come to an end. That's kind of what this is talking about. And it also kind of talks about a lack of self-awareness. Maybe you're not even aware of how this thing just doesn't really serve you anymore, or how you might be repeating this cycle, whatever the case may be. Maybe you just have this strong attachment to this thing, because we have the Tower reversed, like I mentioned earlier. So the Tower reversed, again, this kind of reminds me of someone trying to keep something that's falling apart together. So it kind of reminds me of like a house that is just clearly worn down. You know, the roof is just falling apart piece by piece. Everything is just beginning to crumble, and it kind of just feels like you're trying to keep it all together. Like, I just see someone like holding it all together, like trying to hold the house in, like trying to keep the house intact. But no matter how long they hold it or how much they try to keep it together, like it just continues to fall and fall and fall. And I feel like you've been trying to avoid this sort of inevitable ending. But I feel that in July, things are finally coming to a close, especially, you know, with the with the eclipses, with the eclipse that happened, or yeah, last night coming into today. Like today, I think last night was like eclipse day, and then I think it's just like still like eclipse energy. So with all of the eclipse energy up in the air, you know, things are coming to a close. And with this being the last eclipse for the summer and for the next 6 months, you know, things are coming to a close. Chapters are closing, and this means things are crumbling, whether we like it or not. You know, things that are outdated are crumbling. Things that no longer serve us, you know, they're being obliterated. I don't want to say that. I don't want to scare you off either. But they're, you know, it's that time. And it might be really hard to accept because maybe, again, like you have that sort of attachment to that thing. Maybe there's an emotional connection. 10 of Cups reversed. Maybe this is like a family thing, again, or a relationship thing, or like a home thing, or whatever it might be. It's just coming to a close, right? So with the World card, it's like ending a chapter for a new one to begin. Death, massive transformation, massive changes, you know, some sort of upheaval. And bottom of the deck, Lovers, you know, you have a choice. And there is a clear right or wrong choice. You know, there's a choice of there's a choice to continue doing what is easy and doing what kind of makes you feel comfortable in that moment. And there's a choice that is instantly gratifying. There's a choice that is a very tempting choice to make, right? And then there is the choice that accepts that things come to an end. Life is very cyclical, and things come into our life when we need them, and they leave our life when we no longer need them. That's just the way that things are. That's just the circle of life, right? And that circle cannot end. That circle is never ending. You know, like I said, life is very cyclical. So it's either accepting that and kind of allowing things to end the way that they need to, or still kind of trying to be in this Tower reversed energy of trying to keep this house together, even though it's very, very clearly falling apart. And it's going to inevitably fall apart one way or another, whether or not you are holding it together. So there's that, you know, like some things are just kind of inevitable, and we can't always help that. You know what I'm saying? So you do have that choice. You know, it's entirely up to you how you choose to manage and handle the situation. And Four of Cups reverse, this kind of talks about like being open to change. You know, you have the choice to be open to change or to kind of push your heels into the ground, you know, and just make it harder on yourself and possibly even those around you. So that's kind of what this is kind of saying. Also, the Four of Cups reverse, this kind of talks to me about like adaptability. Like you have the option to adapt. And as a mutable sign, like you are a very adaptable person. So you choosing not to adapt, that's entirely up to you. That's entirely your thing, you know? Like that's your choice. This to me is kind of just saying like, yeah, you like this to me just screams you have a choice in how you deal with things, because one way or another, it's all gonna come to an end so that you can enter a new chapter in your life. And it's entirely up to you whether you wanna make it easy or hard for yourself. And with the Page of Pentacles, this to me is kind of saying like the start of something new. Like you have the option to start from scratch. You have the option to build something from the ground up. You have the option to build something stronger, to build a stronger foundation, whatever it might be, whether it's in like a new relationship or a new job or a new place of residence or whatever the case may be. Like you have the option and you have the choice, you have the option to build from the ground up, to take the time to build a stronger foundation so that it doesn't become one of these tower moments again where everything is just crumbling. Because with the Tower reverse, this is suggesting that the foundation of that home was unstable to begin with. So it was going to fall apart one way or another because the foundation of the home was already broken. So you have the option to create a stronger foundation so this doesn't happen again, so that history doesn't end up repeating itself. Like, it's being offered to you on like a silver platter, if you will. It's just up to you whether you want to take it, my friend. And obviously, like, it can be easier said than done, because of course we have these attachments, we have like the memories or whatever it is that we cling on to, right? Whenever change is coming, we feel awkward and uncomfortable because we feel out of control, and so we want to have some sort of control. And sometimes the only way for us to feel in control and to like soothe our own egos is to cling on to that which is familiar, even though it's outdated. So it's like a double-edged sword. Like, I understand where that comes from, but at the same time, it's kind of like taking off the blinders or allowing ourselves to come to the realization that it's for our own good to start from scratch. And I feel that sometimes people don't want to start from scratch, or they're scared to start from scratch, because in their mind, starting from scratch means that they just lost everything and they just are throwing everything away. And that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes we have to start from the bottom up. We have to start from the ground and work our way up, because we have better knowledge. Sometimes we have to start over. And it doesn't mean that we're throwing everything away. It just means we're learning from our experience, and we have more knowledge that we can implement to build something greater, to build something better, to build something stronger and more sturdy. It doesn't mean that we're just throwing everything away. It just means that we've grown. It means that we've matured. It means that we have grown wiser and more knowledgeable. And we want to use that knowledge, those experiences, to our advantage. That's all that it means. So I feel that for you, Sagittarius, maybe you just have that fear of like starting over, because in your mind you think that starting over is like just throwing it all down the drain, and not necessarily. It just means building something better and stronger, and learning from our past, learning from our mistakes. So it's up to you, Sag. It's up to you whether you want to choose to like go along with it, even if it is uncomfortable, or kind of resist it and then still have the thing happen and then just like be completely upset about it. It's a perspective thing. It really is like a perspective thing. So yeah, that's what I have for you, Sag. This is very quick. This is very straightforward. Yeah, I hope it helps. I hope it resonates. If it does, let me know in the comments down below. And happy July. I'll talk to you later.